Okay, Miss Teacher, this is my audience. I know there's 4 people right there, and there's the 5th, right there. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here today. What I am going to talk about today is I'm going to give you some information about a specific career choice that I've chosen to research. And we'll start off with a question. Something we can all relate to. Have you ever been stressed at your job? I'm sure all of us have had stress at some point, whether it's low-level stress or high-level stress, whether it's with people, whether it's with tasks or with projects at hand. We all have experienced some sort of stress. Now I'm going to take it up quite a large notch. Now imagine this. Imagine if the whole world knew about every decision you made, whether it was good or it was bad. Imagine your face on the TV, on newspapers, on magazines, with little captions below your picture saying what you did, or why it was good, or why it was bad. Now, there's a few jobs that actually do fall in this category, but specifically I'm talking about the job of the President of the United States. The job of the President is, it can be a very stressful job, but at the same time, it can also be a life-changing and forever memorable experience. Very few people have done it before. We've only had 44. What I'm going to mention is a few job aspects of the President, including education and benefits, education requirements, also the benefits of being a president, and future opportunities that come after serving a term of being a president. First thing is education and requirements. There's actually no legal education requirements at this point to become president, which is funny because that's one thing that's the common amongst people that think that that separate presidents and regular people is the fact that presidents have a huge amount of education, which in turn is not true at all. Of the 44 presidents we've had, 11 of them didn't even finish the college they were going to, and 2 of them never even went to college. But at the same time, one thing that all the presidents in the U.S. have had is they've been around the political atmosphere. Each president has had some sort of long-term experience in the political background of some type. Some written legal requirements are age. You have to be at least 35 years of age to become president of the United States. And within your 35 years, you have to live in the United States for at least 14 years. And I'm not sure if that's cumulative or if it's consecutive, but I know that you have to live, of your 35 years, you can live 21 years in Europe, but you have to live 14 in the US of A. Yeah, and that brings it just to the point that the youngest president we pretty much had so far is Theodore Roosevelt, and he was 42, so he was 7 years shy of the minimum. Now the benefits of being a president, one thing that you may not think is very obvious, but it's a huge benefit that some people don't have is health insurance and coverage. As President of the United States, you do not have to pay that. It does not come out of your paycheck. The American taxpayers pay if you get sick or if you need to go to doctors as President of the United States. Also, you're well known. As President, you're very well known. Most people who watch news, read newspaper, who care about local news at all, they know your face, they know what you look like, what your name is. Also, presidents, they don't get paid millions of dollars like superstars and athletes do, but they also don't get paid nothing. The average American household, which includes a wife and a husband, I believe makes close to about 80 grand a year. That's average. The President of the United States now makes $400,000 every year. According to IPL, which stands for Internet Public Library, which is a website that's maintained and kept up by, I believe it's 16 plus accredited colleges and universities around the country. They researched and found out that there was a law passed in 2001, a year after Bush was in office, that doubled the president's salary from $200,000 a year to $400,000 a year. which is the biggest jump, in history. George Bush and Barack Obama are the only two presidents so far which have seen this money. Lastly, future opportunities for president are humongous. Being a president is not like most jobs. Your life just doesn't go back to normal once you finish your term. Some information that I got from the Secret Service, .gov, which is a website that's nationally known. It's kept up by the American government only to inform the public of what goes on behind closed doors somewhat. Up until 1997, every president that finished their term was actually given lifelong protection. So until they died, everyone that was in their household was protected by the Secret Service. After 1997, Congress passed a law which now limited that, and now, for forever until something changes, ex-presidents have 10 years of for sure service protection from the Secret Service. So now they only get 10 years, and after that, it's no more. Like Bill Clinton, his ended 2 years ago, so he's no longer being protected anymore. Let's see. Now, to some of you, I can see how having protection could be bothersome, but also at the same time, you have to think it's really a good thing, because it's less likely for something to happen to you. There's a lot of crazy people out there. You don't know what people can do, and the whole point of it is just to protect the president, to make sure that nothing extraneous can possibly happen without someone else intervening to help out. Also, coming back to the fact that you're well known, being a president of the United States, after your term, you will have major pull with political parties all around. Your face is known worldwide, and basically, after your term of president, you can basically say that you are a celebrity status, because most of the world is now known and seen you for a good portion of time. And definitely that can have its drawbacks as far as privacy goes and having more time for yourself afterwards. But then again, being president can open so many doors that most people will never even see the neighborhood of. In conclusion, I've told you a few points about the job of the president, and it's like most jobs, it's not an easy job. Some could argue it's possibly the hardest job out there, mainly because of the exposure involved, the stress involved, and the composure that's needed to just carry out daily duties as being president. Ultimately, a lot of necessary qualities are required and needed to understand and make well-informed decisions that will reflect what the American public wants and what the American public needs. Thank you guys very much for listening to what I had to say. I appreciate it. If you can all just fill out your critique forms, that would be great. Thank you very much. I got a little hot.